Have you ever noticed how easily we pick up sports stats? We know batting averages, yards per carry, or 3-point percentages by heart. We know the stats, we follow the plays, but when it comes to government or civic issues, the things that actually affect our lives, we don't always look up even the basics. And I get it. I've done the same thing. Why is that? It's not because we're lazy. It's because our social groups and our online environments are constantly shaping what we see, what we believe, and even what we want to fact check. That's what we're digging into today. The social pressures and digital algorithms that make truth harder to see. And of course, this is American Together, which means it's time to pinpoint truth. Truth check.
From anyone, we stand American together.
Let's start with something called tribalism. Human beings are wired to belong to groups, whether it's family, faith, politics, or yes, even sports teams. We want to fit in. When our group believes something, it feels risky to question it. If your whole family repeats a story or your whole friend circle supports a candidate, speaking up can feel like betrayal. Think about sports fans. If you're from Wisconsin, maybe you're a Packers fan. If you're from Illinois, maybe you bleed Bears orange and blue. In the first episode, I told you I am originally from Nebraska. So I, like all other Nebraskans, am a Cornhusker fan. Those loyalties run deep. And even when the stats or the plays clearly show your team is struggling, most fans still defend them fiercely. That same instinct carries over into politics, religion, and community life. Questioning your team feels like turning your back on your identity. And here's the important part. This instinct isn't wrong. For most of human history, belonging to a group kept us alive. Alone, a person was vulnerable. Together, people had protection, food, and care. Psychologists even tell us that once our basic needs are met, the very next thing humans crave is belonging. It's why we form families, neighborhoods, churches, and yes, even sports fan clubs. So tribalism has a purpose. The problem comes when our loyalty to the group gets so strong that we ignore the facts right in front of us. Psychologists have studied this. Back in the 1950s, Solomon Asch ran an experiment where participants were shown a line and asked to pick the matching length from 3 choices. The right answer was obvious. But here's the twist. Other people in the room were secretly part of the experiment, and they all gave the wrong answer on purpose. And what happened? About 3 out of 4 participants went along with the group at least once, even when their own eyes told them the group was wrong. That's the power of group pressure. It shows how much our tribes shape what we're willing to believe or even admit out loud. Sometimes it isn't facts that wins, it's fitting in. Truth check. Now let's talk about how the internet supercharges this. Most people have heard the word algorithm, but what does that really mean? Simply put, an algorithm is just a set of rules a computer follows to decide what to show you. On social media, the algorithm is constantly watching what you click, like, and share. Then it serves you more of the same. And here's why. These platforms make money from your attention. The longer you scroll, the more ads they can show you. So the algorithm isn't designed to show you what's true. It's designed to show you what keeps you hooked. especially the things that trigger strong emotions like outrage, fear, or excitement. If you watch one video about your favorite football team, you'll see more highlights. If you click on one article that criticizes a politician, you'll get more criticism. Over time, your feed turns into what we call an echo chamber. Out of all the different topics out there, the algorithm spotlights just one type of content and then shows it to you again and again. It starts to feel like everyone agrees with you, but outside that spotlight, the conversation might be completely different. Ever notice how your feed can feel like everyone's on your side? That's not by accident, it's by design. The algorithm isn't showing you the truth, it's showing you what keeps you scrolling. That makes it harder to even encounter opposing facts, let alone fact check them. And here's the truth check. Sometimes what feels like everyone agreeing is really just the algorithm narrowing our view. Hard to admit, right? Me too, but that's why we need to step back and ask, what am I not seeing outside this spotlight? Truth check. Another reason people avoid fact checking is simple. They don't trust the fact checkers. Some believe fact checkers are biased. Others think they cherry pick sources, and sometimes it feels like fact checkers are targeting our side more than the other. When it feels uneven, our guard goes up and we tune them out. I'll be honest, there are times I've rolled my eyes at a fact check too. And to be fair, fact checkers are human. No single source should be blindly trusted. But here's the key. Critical thinking isn't about trusting one source. It's about comparing many. Skepticism is healthy. It means we're asking questions. But shutting down completely doesn't protect us. It leaves us more vulnerable to spin. When we dismiss all fact checkers outright, we're really saying we don't want to test our beliefs at all. Instead of asking, do I trust this one fact checker, we should probably be asking, what happens if I look at multiple sources across different perspectives? That's where credibility comes from. Not blind trust, but careful cross-checking. We'll talk about how to spot reliable sources in the next episode. It's tempting to throw up our hands and say, they're all biased. But refusing to fact check at all doesn't protect us. It only protects misinformation. Truth check. I want to share a story about a good friend I had at church back when I lived in Milwaukee. Let's call him Alan. Alan lived in a neighborhood with what he called a big Muslim presence. Most of what he knew about Muslims came through the media, so his perspective was shaped by that lens. My lens was different. In college, I studied international studies, and later I lived for 3 years in a Muslim country. Those experiences gave me a broader picture. One day, Alan and I were talking about a world event. His perspective was different from mine, so I shared what I had learned from study and life experience. Instead of shutting down, Alan leaned in. He asked me questions. He even asked for books so he could read and learn for himself. Later, he came back and told me what he had discovered, that some of his earlier assumptions weren't accurate. That conversation reminded me we all see the world through different lenses shaped by our tribes, our media, and our experiences. But when we stay open, like Alan did, we can adjust that lens and see more clearly. Imagine if more of us approached conversations that way. Truth check. Who in your life has helped you see through a different lens? Maybe a friend, a teacher, or even a family member? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Alan's story is just one example, but step back and you can see these same forces shaping all of us. So today we looked at the second big reason we don't fact check: the social and cultural influences around us. Our tribes pull us toward loyalty. Algorithms trap us in bubbles, and distrust can stop us from even checking at all. But recognizing those influences, that's a truth check moment. We all know how to follow every play in a game, even though those plays don't really change our daily lives. If we can follow those plays, we can also pay attention to the plays that do change our lives, like the policies shaping our schools, our healthcare, and our economy. It takes practice, it takes courage, but it's worth it. So here's my question for you. Have you ever realized you were in an echo chamber? What helped you step out of it? Or has a trusted friend or family member ever challenged your group's belief and made you stop to think? Drop your story in the comments. I'll be reading. This week, pay attention to your own social media feed. Notice what kinds of stories keep showing up. Then deliberately search for the opposite perspective. Just once. See how it feels. Awareness is the first step. When we see the bubble, we're already starting to pop it. Truth check. This space isn't about censoring or forcing people to agree. It's about taking time to pause, notice what's driving our reactions, and come to the conversation with openness, self-awareness, and a willingness to really listen together. I welcome different views, but I expect respect. Disagree? That's great. Explain why. Have a different angle? Share it. Here, we use our differences as strengths, not weapons. And if you'd like a little extra help shaping your reply, I've linked my 3 Ps in Action comment edition in the description. It's the same process I use myself to pause, pinpoint truth, and proceed with purposeful forethought. Don't worry about reading all this here. The full list of sources is in the description and on my site, american-together.com. I share them because checking sources matters just as much as checking headlines. Hit the thumbs up and join the conversation in the comments. Together, we're not just watching, we're building something. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. See you next time. Remember, pause, pinpoint truth, proceed with purposeful forethought. Join the conversation. See you next time.